I'm very happy to welcome you all to another episode of Let's Talk About the Baltic Sea. And today's topic sounds a bit like the trailer for a science fiction movie. Are we under attack? But don't worry, there won't be any glowing sea monsters or dramatic species effects. Indeed, we have got alien visitors, but not from another space, from other seas and oceans. And today we will talking about alien and invasive species in the Baltic Sea. Where did they come from and how do they manage to survive in the cold, brackish waters? And some of them blend in quietly, others case quite a sear. We also want to hear maybe some stories. Have you noticed, for example, Biliana, unusual on the beach in your local harbor, a special that made you stop and thinking, what a minute, what doesn't belong here? Please let us know on the chat and we can talk about this. So we are joined by Tomasz Kijewski. He's a biologist specializing in marine fauna, member genetics of the climate and ocean research and education laboratory at the Institute of Oceanology, Polish Academy of Sciences. So yeah, and our second guest is Aleksandra Koroza. She also is a researcher in the same laboratory in Institute of Oceanology, Polish Academy of Sciences, and her work focused on marine ecosystem services and interdisciplinary studies that integrate social science with ocean and marine research. And as for me, my name is Izabela Kotyńska-Zielińska. I'm founder of the Today We Have, an ocean literacy educator and communicator. And I'm also a mentor in the Shore project with the Polish Country Hub, which is represented by WSB University. So let's dive in. Not into the Baltic itself, but into the knowledge about its fascinating in habits. And let's get started. Tomasz, the floor is yours. So hello, Tomasz.
Hello, thank you very much. Alex, could you mute yourself? Okay, thank you. Okay, at the start, I'm going to say what are alien species and how to separate them from invasive species, and if we are really to be afraid of them. The next slide, please. Okay. So, what is invasion in real? An invasion, next slide please. And invasion is a move of some animals or plants to cross their natural boundaries. Usually they look for new opportunities to survive, and in most cases these migrations are through the it's like expanding from their natural environment and their natural range. But next slide please. You can see when the environment changes, like in the northern Atlantic, when the condition change, following these changes, there are some species that expands the range. On this picture, you can see a range of some certain species of fish that in Atlantic, warming Atlantic, they spread towards north because there are better conditions for them for living. And of course, on the costs of this change, environmental change, is shrinking the area of some Arctic fishes that have less place with good conditions for them. So in most cases, the migrations are caused by changing environmental conditions. Next slide, please. Baltic is also under this threat, but characteristic of the sea makes some hard boundaries for some invaders or migrants. On the left side, you can see a Pacific oyster, which is a very invading species, and it's quite common and quite dangerous for ecosystems in North Sea, Germany or Denmark. But this oyster cannot get into the Baltic Sea because it demands higher salinity there is in Baltic. If some species, the next slide please. If some species jumps not just by expanding the range, but jumps from one continent to another, we can talk only about ways or how to these species can make that jump. It is not possible to just swim for many species from Asia or America or Africa or anywhere else to Baltic or just to skip a huge area. So they need to some help from other conditions. Can you switch the slide? And this help is sometimes in natural ways, like hurricanes, strong winds or so. Also, living creatures can be helpful as a vector for migrants and invaders, like birds. It was proved that if duck or swan eats some fish eggs, the eggs can survive the digestive tract and be excreted in some other area and still living. So even birds in the stomachs can move some marine creatures from one place to another. But recently, main factor driving migrations are human factors. Every ship on the sea has an area that is filled with seawater. This water makes this ship stable on the sea, and it's just been taken where the sea starts the journey. With this water, they can suck into this area some living species, some living creatures, and bring to another part of the ocean. Recently, captains of ships are forced to exchange these ballast waters during the trip, not just take it in the one port and drop in another. But during the travel, they need to exchange this water to prevent transporting some animals or plants across the ocean. So this is some for safety reasons. Another thing is, of course, rubbish. If we have some species that attach to anything in the ocean, they can also attach with to trash litters in the ocean, and with sea currents they can be brought to another places and colonize them. And of course, some people that are that have aquariums, they don't care about environment, and sometimes they can release some. I don't know why they do it. By releasing some creatures from their aquariums, they can put it in the new environment, and some of them can inhabit this new environment and become danger for them. And to make a difference between migrants and invaders, I have to point here that migrants just trying to survive in one place. Can you switch the slide? But if the migrants find some extraordinary fine conditions to develop, to multiply, they sometimes can take over the environment. You can see the jellyfish, for instance, which are spreading across Pacific Ocean due to rising temperature, due to lack of some predators, if we overfishing them. At these cases, whole environment is totally taken by one species, like the crabs you can see on the bottom of this slide, or starfish, or algae like Sagrassum, that is very dangerous for environment. Some animals eat everything around. Some plants can cover the surface of the sea or lake and cut the sun to the that should be get to the deeper parts, and this particular environment, this particular place is just how to say distracted totally. And this is actually invasion, not just trying to survive and fitting into the ecosystem, but taking it over is very dangerous for ecosystems. Next slide, please. And of course, it's common over the world because changing conditions, because movement of and human activities. And most of these invasive species are covered in our area, like Northern Hemisphere, like Europe and the United States and so on. Of course, in tropics, in islands on Pacific, we can also observe some alien species. As well, just aliens like immigrants, migrants, and of course dangerous for environment invaders. Next slide, please. What are invaders' superpowers? First of all, it's weak ecological equilibrium. So if the environment changes, it's open opportunities for new species, and some old species are weakened because environment change. Lack of enemies. If some new player appears at the ecosystems, predators sometimes cannot afford them, cannot control this new species, and this is a real problem. Their fertility, of course, not every species that's trying to invade or just migrate is able to produce a lot less of offspring to take over the environment. If the fertility is low, it goes to equilibrium. But if some species finds very good conditions in a new environment, in new place, the fertility rise dramatically, and sometimes it's very, very dangerous. If the new species is a predator, it's easy for them to catch new prey, because these prey are not ready for this predator. And of course, sometimes we don't see it, but new species brings new pathogens. And these pathogens are more or less in equilibrium with this new species. That does it kill it, but it could kill lots of species, lots of animals and plants in new place, because again, they are not prepared for these pathogens. And yes, what is about Baltic? Baltic is in some way very vulnerability to invasions, because it's getting warmer, and old species are not in good conditions. So it opens windows for new species. And it's of course a busy sea when where lots of ships traveling, and depending from care of shipments, these ships still can bring new species into the Baltic. Low salinity is a barrier in the Baltic, but there are still lots of species. Alex will show you some of them can survive in this low salinity and make this sea their new environment, and to have success in the Baltic. Climate change, it's of course I told before, and the stressed ecosystem is a weakness of ecosystem and opening window to new species, as I said. Okay, and next slide. What would you think, which species is most invasive on Earth? Brianna, do you have an idea which species is most invasive? Humans are, of course. On the next slide, we can see humans covering whole lands on the Earth, and we are making a huge that was never before in the history of Earth that one species could take over whole environment and make some so big changes as we did, of course. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Tomasz. It was a very nice presentation. Do you have maybe a question to Tomasz?
I would like to say something about those brackic waters. We also have invasive species of blue crab here. Last years we have great invasion in South Adriatic, and also we have higher fishermen catch of Lagocephalus last years. I think it's came from the tropic seas, and ballistes also, and the lionfish, and lots of tropic fish, because due to higher sea temperature of Adriatic last years, for a few last years, we have more and more invasive species.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the lionfish is due to Aquarius.
Yeah. Lots of them came from or Monaco or from the Mediterranean Sea.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay, super. Thank you very much.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. And Tomasz, I didn't think about the fact that creatures can be carried in the bellies of birds. So thank you for this information. For me, it was something new, and it's obvious. Yeah, super.
Yeah, I should add that to establish population in new place, we need like 500, maybe 1,000 specimens to give them chance to colonize new territory.
Mm-hmm. Super, thank you. So next, Alex, yeah?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Alex. Hello,
Yes.
hello.
Hello. Thank you, Tomasz, for your great intro. And right now I would like to continue your story, if you allow. Is Baltic Sea vulnerable to invasions? This is a question that already was answered partly by Tomasz. But why? Why is it vulnerable, apart from all of those environmental conditions that Tomasz was talking about? Maybe we need to go a little bit back in history to answer that question. And not to talk too much about how Baltic Sea developed, I need to just say that it was twice in its history a lake, which is also giving some context to it all, because it is the way how different conditions in the sea were formed. So the Baltic Sea, as you know, probably after our webinars, is semi-marine water. So it's neither salty, neither fresh water. It's, let's say, a mix. But what is more into this history is the Baltic Sea is very young comparing to other seas, because it's just about 12,000 years, when other seas, like for example Mediterranean, are a couple million years, and in some parts even older. Why is it important? It's important because it's the time and the change of the conditions that allowed different species to develop in those basins. So it was not much time for the Baltic Sea to have its life developed, but at the same time there were a lot of changes in this short period of time, which could bring a lot of species from other basins. So how many of those different species that entered Baltic Sea can be invasive? It is also a question, because it's hard to tell what means invasive species. But this, I hope you will also get cleared up after this webinar. And the list of so-called invasive non-indigenous species can be found also on HELCOM website, which is organization that is covering research and reports for the Baltic Sea regions. And here is the link. After the webinar presentations, I can copy and paste it to the chat. So, not going far from the beginning of the Baltic Sea creation, we have the first invasive species that I would like to discuss, because I have to mention I won't be able to cover all of them. There are a lot. So the first will be Meia arenaria, which is a bivalve, and it comes actually from North America. And right now it covers Atlantic and Pacific Oceans also. So it was spread. The first theory was that it spread while Baltic Sea was formed with warm currents from Atlantic. But then later researchers conducted some more work, and they found out in the fossil fuels that the Meia arenaria was there a lot earlier, and it is possible that it was brought by Vikings. I like it, don't you?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay, so the question is, how this species is impacting the local Baltic Sea life. So it is already from the, let's say, Vikings times, and it is it has hugely populated Baltic Sea area in its current form. So it is existing right now in almost every location. And it took over the place of other species because it was better adapted to those conditions that change in the Baltic Sea. But let's see more what is into the invasive species. The next one is round goby. This is a species that is hugely discussed, especially throughout the many years of the research in the Baltic Sea. And its origin is Ponto-Caspian region, Black Sea. And where is it now? It's again in the whole Baltic Sea. So it's spread throughout all of the basin. And it was brought by shipping. So as Tomasz was talking earlier, saying earlier, by ballast waters, so the waters that help ship not to sink, they were brought to the Baltic Sea. And the way it has impacted the local fauna is that it again has dominated some of the habitats in the sea, and it eats mainly bivalves, but also some other benthic species. So in the regions that round goby is present, there is like lower biodiversity, let's say, in the terms that it is dominating it. So what do we do about it? Like if we can do something about, for example, species like round goby, is to use them and change our culture. So we didn't have really a culture of eating round goby, which is like really small fish, by the way. It's like maximum of couple of centimeters. So not much to eat there, but still we can have some food out of it, and especially we can create some pet food. So, for example, cookies for our cats and dogs. And this is what is happening largely right now. And apart from having also some restrictions towards shipping that Tomasz mentioned earlier, this is what we can do. And obviously, monitoring those species is also very important because for first, it's fascinating and we can talk about it right now. And for seconds, or maybe first, we can manage it better and limit the spread of those invasive species. So another one is Gamarus tigrinis. It's another crustacean, very small, as almost all species in the Baltic Sea are smaller. And it's again originating from North America. And this species is also even better with accommodating to different conditions because it has spread also to estuaries and to river mouths, not only to the, let's say, central Baltic and the other regions of the Baltic Basin. So it is almost everywhere where it could be. How was it spread? It is largely unknown. And how it has impacted local Baltic sea life, as like similarly to previous species that I talked about, it has a great impact because it is changing benthic community. Benthic community meaning all of the species that are near the bottom. Now we can talk more about crabs. The other invasive species is Chinese mitten crab. This one is cool in its appearance because it has this hairy claws. and it comes from Atlantic coast of North America, Mexican Bay. And again, it has spread throughout all of the Baltic. And in this case, it's also difficult to assess how was it spread, but the main idea about it is again that it came with shipping. So you can tell that shipping is almost like the case for all of those species. If it's known, it's the shipping reason for their occurrence in the Baltic Sea. So how it has impacted local Baltic Sea life, in this case, it's unknown. And due to this unknown information, management is impossible. But so far, we haven't really noticed like very negative effect of its occurrence in the environment. And another crab that has dominated our fauna is American crab. Again, from Atlantic coast and North America, and again brought by shipping. And again, it is not really possible to manage its occurrence because we don't know a lot about how it has came to our sea, apart from the fact that it came with shipping. But perhaps you could see American crabs while walking on the beach, and they're quite nice, I guess. And maybe Isa has some more pictures and stuff to show you about
Yeah, about yes, American crabs. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's really light.
Yeah, when I found out that Alex would mention the American crab, I had to show you this photo. After a storm, you can find a lot of American crabs shells on the beach in our region, in Sopot also, where I live. And once I remember 2 years ago, where we have working with my daughter and her cousin, we found about 50 of them. So I have a lot of American crab shells. Okay, thank you, Alex, for this presentation. It was really, really nice. And maybe you have some questions to Alex about American crabs or
any other questions.
Yeah.
Oh, there is something in the chat. I don't know really. Could you?
Yeah, no, we don't have on the chat. No. Okay, so maybe Alex, you can
continue.
Yes, you can continue, of course.
Okay. So can we protect native species and still manage these surprise visitors? So as you could already hear during this webinar, there are quite a few ways to protect our environment. And maybe it's not like stopping to have invasive species because we cannot really do it. And yeah, the main ways just to better manage this situation is to have early warning systems. So, for example, HELCOM that I have mentioned before, this commission that is planning and researching Baltic Sea, is involving like a system, like online system for ports where they can report what was found in the ballast waters of the ships. And there is also a list of those non-native species there. And based on this, you can just tell where those species could be brought from and where to take your path, like just to avoid spreading the species because it's important. So it's mostly like information for ports, how to guide ships. And then cleaning ship bottoms is also hugely important because a lot of those species that we talked today about were brought by ballast waters, but also by species that attached to the bottom of the ships. So when you clean the bottom of the ships, then you won't bring invasive species.
Aleksandra, excuse me.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone, any country that do the analysis of ballast waters?
Well, yeah, like so.
In Croatia, we don't have that.
Okay, so this is, I don't know if they do analysis, but they collect data, and this is for the whole Baltic Sea. At least there is some information, like a table where everyone can enter what was found in the ballast waters. So maybe I can also include a link. The one that was on the first slide is if you could just copy it and paste in the chat, then everyone will have access to this tool because it's actually a tool developed by Helcom for everyone.
Okay.
So this is the only tool and up-to-date information that I can think of right now about invasive species in ballast waters. But for sure, there are some research. There is some research done on that. But this is like a database that is on a daily basis updated. So maybe
I put in the chat. Wait a moment.
Okay, so another thing is eco-friendly cleaning. So the way we clean those ships matters. Safe ballast water. So I've mentioned this, and teamwork with others. So this is using such databases and taking care about all of the above points. This is what we can do. But apart from it, I would say we won't really avoid having invasive species. Like 100%, it's impossible because it's like about spreading sometimes larvae, or even not if larvae, it's some eggs attached to things, so we really can miss it. It's not always about spreading something that is visible, and even if it is brought by big ships that really you don't really pay attention to small organisms attached to it if you are not cleaning bottom of the ship. But if you're cleaning, then it's a better chance. Okay. What role does climate change play in making the Baltic Sea more vulnerable to invasions? I think this question could be asked to me and Tomasz, both. So, yeah. So, for me, climate change, as you could also see throughout the webinar, has a great influence on making Baltic Sea vulnerable in all scenarios. So also for invading by other species, because it is already unique with its like low salinity, temperature, and like a lot of characteristics that we were talking before about. And climate change is just like deepening them. So it means that only really strong species can survive those conditions. At least for me. Tomasz, maybe you could add some.
Yes, of course. And for instance, in the Baltic, we just lost one of the top predators in the sea, I mean, cod. It's actually not existing in the Baltic anymore. And when the top predator is lacking, it's open windows for some species that could be in danger if the predator was still here. But lacking cod, lacking predators, it's a great opportunity to new species in the environment. And this is especially a case in the Baltic.
Okay.
Super. Thank you, Alex and Tomasz. Maybe some of you have a question to Alex? If not, it's not a problem because we prepare some
questions.
Yeah. Okay, maybe in the chat, I check. No. So I think we can move to the next question.
Okay.
What would Tomasz, could you start maybe for this question?
Yeah.
If you want, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. The environment, the ecosystems are always tending to get a balance. So even after invasion, when we can observe dominating one species, one invasive species in the environment, it sometimes, I would say, in most cases, it goes a little bit down, and they are setting a new balance in the environment. So it doesn't kill ecosystem, but changes it deeply. And those changes are mostly bad from our point of view, because we are using environment as it used to be. And when it changed, whatever it was due to warming effect or just due to some invasions, the change is not good for us. But being a biologist, looking like from above to the ecosystems, they are just changing. So I wouldn't call it disasters. And of course, integration with new species and old species in this changing environment is going on. And actually, it is not a very bad thing for environment, for ecosystem. But we don't like it because it changes in the way that we don't expect.
Yeah, I agree. But going back in the presentation where I have shown you Mia arenaria, the bivalve, it has a long history in the Baltic because it occurred and then disappeared due to poor conditions for its survival, and then it is also invasive species right now, so it came back. So it's not like invasive species is the species that is able to invade the basin right away at all costs. It also needs some conditions that help it to survive. And then also the round goby. This species is lasting for a long time in the Baltic Sea because it was invaded, at least in Gdańsk Bay, in 90s, and I think it was the first place in the Baltic where it occurred. So it is a really long time. So the question if this invasive species is becoming an integrated part of ecosystem, I think there is no other way, because yes, it is becoming an integrated part of ecosystem after such a long time. But at the same time, it is the species that survived the most harsh conditions, so it will be able perhaps to do it once more, so it will be always an invasive species. Do you agree, Tomasz, or would you add something?
Definitely, I agree.
Okay.
But we should point here on bivalves. They are very important for ecosystems, even if they are just new, because they are cleaning water. So another bivalve in Baltic works for health of this ecosystem.
Yeah. So it's not like it's all bad things about having invasive species. There are still species that have some added value to the ecosystem, even if they dominate the local fauna, flora. Okay, are there any other questions?
Any comments?
Yeah.
Okay, if not, because it is a last hour question, yeah? If
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
okay. Okay, so all webinars are recorded, so you will be able to watch both this one and the previous one. You will receive a link to the recording from me when everything will be ready, and I will also it will be also on the event website. And the webinar is founded under SHORE project. It's a Mission Ocean and Waters project funded by the EU Horizon Europe Research and Innovation Program. Thank you very much for your attention and your commitment. And I hope so we will soon in the next webinar for the teachers, yes. In the next year we will be organizing. So we can be in touch, and thank you very much and see you soon. I hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Alex, could you show the next slide?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry.
Because the last slide is very important. Mm-hmm.
Sorry for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The last, this is the most important slide, and I can say bye-bye.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much, Biliana. You
Thank
are
you.
a wonderful teacher, and I hope so we will be collaborate.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah.
It's always
Yeah.
great to hear something new from the other side of the
On the
ocean.
other side, yeah, I know. Super. Thank you very much, and
Thank you.
finger crossed. Yeah, super. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.